With arguably the best action movie ever made celebrating its 37th anniversary this year, it's only fitting that we spotlight Nakatomi Plaza, why it was chosen, how it was designed, what went into making it such an iconic movie setting, the deliberate measures taken by McTiernan and cinematographer Jan de Bont to turn the building into an unforgettable character, and ultimately, how Nakatomi Plaza has loomed over the entire franchise with a lasting legacy ever since. All that and more as we cue up the movie, scale to the top of the skyscraper, and discover how Nakatomi Plaza became one of the biggest movie stars in Die Hard almost 40 years ago. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Welcome to the party, pal!
For a movie produced by 20th Century Fox, the lazy and reductive assumption is that the studio chose to film Die Hard at Fox Plaza out of cost-saving convenience. This isn't necessarily the case.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
From the early development stages of the script, the film's concept was always to set the action in a high-rise building. The idea was sparked when producer Lloyd Levin asked screenwriter Jeb Stewart to adapt the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe, a former private dick.
To magic, then back to Worthy, right? Boom! 2 points.
Thorpe was inspired by the 1974 disaster film The Towering Inferno, adopting the idea of setting his story in a massive skyscraper. The concept was simple. Gun-strapped villains pursue a lone man through a building.
9 million terrorists in the world, and I gotta kill one with feet smaller than my sister.
While some Die Hard fans will surely be surprised to learn that the movie is loosely based on a novel, it's also worth noting that it was Levin's idea to set the story in Los Angeles during the Christmas season. Levin granted Stewart total creative leeway to shape the script as he saw fit, as long as he retained the LA Christmas dynamic.
So you hang in there, man, you hear me? You hang in there.
For those still arguing against Die Hard as a legitimate Christmas movie, citing its July 1988 release as evidence, the Yuletide holiday was always there from the story's inception.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
While Stewart worked on the script during grueling 18-hour days, Die Hard was pitched around town as Rambo in an office building, reinforcing how the story relied on finding a suitable skyscraper to accommodate the movie's premise from the beginning.
Merry Christmas.
The finished screenplay was delivered in June 1987, and the film was greenlit the day after by Fox executives. Producer Joel Silver hand-picked director John McTiernan to helm Die Hard based on the strength of Predator, also released in June 1987.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
McTiernan hired masterful Dutch cinematographer Jan de Bont to create the film's visual aesthetic, with de Bont taking careful measures to make Nakatomi Plaza a multi-dimensional character that helped advance the plot.
Even think about going up in a tall building again.
Once Fox greenlit the project, Stewart's script was retooled by Stephen E. D'Souza, who was recruited to lighten the tone and add brevity to the brutality. Souza deserves credit for using the blueprints for the Fox Plaza to outline the spatial design of the building setting and to situate the characters as the movie unfolds.
Why don't you wake up and smell what you shoveling?
Although Stewart's original script was set over 3 days, McTiernan wisely decided to condense the story to have it occur over a single night.
No bullets. Stupid, Hans.
You were saying?
When it came time to scout locations and find the right high-rise for the story, the production crew sought a largely unoccupied building. As fortune would have it, the under-construction Fox Plaza provided just that, a 35-story, 490-foot skyscraper located on the Avenue of the Stars in Century City, California. However, it's worth noting that the Fox Plaza was chosen late, not long before principal photography commenced, with production designer Jackson DeGovia selecting the ornate skyscraper. Once the building was deemed a perfect fit for the Nakatomi Plaza, Fox gave the production its blessing under 2 conditions. 1, filming was prohibited during the day, and 2, explosions inside the building could not result in damage. With 2 key directives in mind, Jan de Bont began designing ways to make Nakatomi Plaza appear cinematic, while also turning it into a formidable character in its own right.
Because you're a policeman, there are rules for policemen.
Upon reading the script, de Bont knew he could use the camera in intimate ways to underscore the visual style the story called for, deploying handheld cameras in close quarters to move around the characters as if it were a participant in the action.
Only John can drive somebody that crazy.
In addition to the kinetic immediacy of the handheld camera work, an unpopular technique at the time, de Bont was adamant that the film had to be shot entirely on location to reinforce the hyper-realism that McTiernan was after. Part of the reason Die Hard feels so realistic and spontaneous was derived from the lack of storyboards. De Bont was steadfast in his belief that storyboarding a movie from start to finish leaves no room for creative discoveries on the set and often leads to a contrived result.
Thanks for the advice.
On Die Hard, de Bont and McTiernan would work out the staging, blocking, camera angles, and action choreography inside Nakatomi Plaza on each day of filming. The more they advanced, the more they began focusing on making Nakatomi Plaza a crucial cog in the story and a key character that changes throughout the movie. According to de Bont via Slash Film, quote, "The building itself is a character in the movie, so the character had to be seen and showcased," end quote. To this end, de Bont was sure to give Nakatomi Plaza a grand entrance at the start of the film, as John McClane is driven to the company Christmas party by Argyle, the limo driver, played by Devereaux White. When Nakatomi Plaza is first shown on screen from a distance, it's elegant, inviting, and bathed in a warm, sunny Southern California glow. As we'll see, the building becomes a much more ominous and formidable character after nightfall, shifting in perspective as the movie unfolds. As de Bont adds, quote, "What is so fantastic about that building? I think there were 4 or 5 stories occupied at the time, and many stories were still under construction. So we could use all the floors that were not built yet and use them as set pieces," end quote. Once inside Nakatomi Plaza, it was vitally important for de Bont that viewers see outside the building, with the bustling Los Angeles in the background shown through the windows.
Come on, baby, come to Papa. I'll kiss your f***ing Dalmatian.
The sights, sounds, and frenetic energy of the city lights added to the stark realism that de Bont was aiming for. We're talking about genuine, hands-on, practical, tactile filmmaking done before CGI and green screen technology had reached a state of the art. De Bont explained that the windows had to be wiped clean and made extremely clear to achieve such high visibility at night. For the daytime shots, the windows required heavy filtering to achieve a balance between the interior and exterior. For the 2 floors they filmed on, each window had to be replaced regularly to maintain pristine visibility and make it appear as if a real city was down below. Another technique de Bont utilized to bolster the film's realism was to use genuine flares to create smoke inside the building, which billowed in unpredictable directions.
Please, God, no, you're one of them, aren't you? You're one of them. Don't kill me, please, please,
Whoa, relax.
This added to the spontaneity and forced the filmmakers to react and shoot around the smoky scrims. Even if the lens was blocked by haze, de Bont didn't mind. He always favored the most dramatically effective shot over the prettiest or most aesthetically pleasing. According to de Bont, showing Nakatomi Plaza's full anatomy as the movie progresses was a deliberate method to give the building character. The size, scale, and scope of the skyscraper are established when the helicopters land on the roof, which is reinforced by the interior staircases and elevator shafts. The spatial awareness that the audience feels, knowing precisely where they are inside the building at any moment, allows us to realize the enormity of the place. De Bont stated that the helicopter sequence was achieved in 2.5 takes, rolling 24 cameras at once without a single digital effect.
Just like Saigon! Hey, Slick!
By showing the helicopter from above and below with the same actors in the frame, the sense of realism only heightens the tension and suspense. As de Bont notes, quote, "For audiences, they know there's a reality to this. It is basically like the camera is as caught in the building as the people are," end quote. To give Nakatomi Plaza a distinct personality, de Bont was averse to using the prototypical bright, fluorescent lighting found in most buildings, which often gives off a dull, monotonous appearance where every room looks identical. Instead, de Bont carefully hid small lights throughout the building, which he could remotely control on a digital dimmer to adjust the light and shadows and to create the most dynamic lighting cues. This also allowed de Bont to shoot from the coolest and most unique camera angles, and gave him the freedom to adjust the lighting live during a shot. Rather than lighting the entire set at once, de Bont could film one part of a shot, dim the lights, pan the camera to another area in the building, and adjust the lighting on the fly. The impromptu nature of the lighting plays into the movie's stark realism and Nakatomi Plaza's distinct personality.
Mrs. McClane, how nice to make your acquaintance.
Using an unfinished building with only 4 or 5 floors occupied gave de Bont even more freedom and creative license to play with the lighting in real time. For example, in parts of the building with empty floors, de Bont could add to Nakatomi Plaza's character by laying fluorescent tubes on the ground as if, in the story, they were set to be installed the following day. The under construction aspect of Fox Plaza was deliberately utilized to give Nakatomi more dimension and greater definition. As de Bont declared, quote, "So you could play with positions of lighting that you normally would not have if the building was completely already finished. So I could light it dramatically and play with it in any way," end quote. Now, while most of the photography was done inside and around the Fox Plaza, the 30th floor of Nakatomi Plaza, where the hostages are held captive, was filmed on a constructed set. Production designer Jackson DeGovia outfitted the set with a replica of Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater House in Pennsylvania, which DeGovia believed would play well into the iconography of the Japanese corporation overtaking American assets. At first, the official Nakatomi logo resembled a swastika, but was later changed to appear like a samurai warrior's helmet. In a subliminal, easy-to-miss moment, McClane hides while being shot at under a desk that is shaped in the pattern of the Nakatomi Corporation logo. It's minute, granular details like this that, while hard to notice at first, bolster the character and personality of the location. The busy cityscape seen through the windows of the 30th floor was created using a massive 380-foot-long background matte painting, replete with animated lights and perfectly timed lighting cues to make it appear as though cars were moving through traffic at daytime and nighttime. Another set was used when McClane blasts a window from the outside to get back inside with the fire hose, with sugar glass utilized for the effect that took 2 hours to set up and only a few takes to complete. Above the 30th floor, the explosion at the very top of the building was filmed using a miniature model. Nearly everything else was performed and photographed for real, including several dangerous explosions in and outside the building using mortar-style explosives and propane that could create up to 6-second flame bursts. In the scene where McClane launches C4 down an elevator shaft, genuine explosives were used that accidentally blew out every window on the floor they were filming on. Believe it or not, the epic helicopter sequence required just 2 hours and 3 takes to film, using 24 cameras and 9 crews. However, the scene was painstakingly planned for 6 months before principal photography, one of the only instances that was choreographed ahead of time.
I'm on your side, you assholes!
As de Bont tells it, a real rocket launcher was blasted at the tactical SWAT vehicle that ascends the real steps of Nakatomi Plaza, completely shattering all the windows on one floor of the building simultaneously. the rockets were guided on a wire toward a cop car and barbecued that sucker for real. No fakery, no trick photography. For de Bont and the crew, this was extremely nerve-wracking, as Fox Plaza was a brand new building still under construction and previously stipulated a no damage clause. As for the unforgettable ending in which Hans Gruber plummets from the top of Nakatomi Plaza to his own demise, the late great Alan Rickman performed the stunt himself. To achieve the shot, Rickman was situated on a raised platform and dropped anywhere from 20 to 70 feet onto a giant green screen airbag below. The green screen below allowed the effects team to composite the background with exterior shots of Fox Plaza, with shredded bearer bonds falling like confetti. While most stunt performers don't typically fall backwards due to safety, McTiernan convinced Rickman to do the scene after McTiernan had demonstrated the stunt himself by falling into a pile of cardboard boxes. To keep Gruber's terrifying facial reaction in focus as he descends to his death, an automated computer system controlled the camera's focus ring. A timer was set with a countdown to inform Rickman when he would be dropped. However, de Bont brilliantly released Rickman before the countdown was completed, which is how Rickman's genuinely horrified facial reaction was elicited. Gruber looks mortified the moment he falls because Rickman did not expect to be dropped so soon. Although McTiernan asked Rickman to do 3 total takes, the first take is the one seen in the film, with McTiernan proudly stating, "There's no way he could fake that." The stylish, slow-motion effect of Gruber's descent was achieved by filming at 270 frames per second in real time, which made the action roughly 10 times slower than normal.
Well, I hope that's not a hostage.
An incredibly laborious and difficult shot to get right. No human focus puller could do what the automated timing system could. As for the final moments in Gruber's fatal fall, stuntman Kenny Bates was attached to a harness and lowered more than 300 feet down from the Fox Plaza, moving slower and slower as he neared the ground. For de Bont, the biggest lesson he learned in bolstering Nakatomi Plaza's character in Die Hard was to remain flexible and be able to improvise on the fly, rather than remain rigid and stick to a pre-planned shot list. By constantly referring to the Fox Plaza blueprints while filming the movie, McTiernan and de Bont fundamentally mastered the building's geographic layout. They purposefully shot it in ways that allowed viewers to retain a sense of spatial awareness both inside and outside the building. In the end, the ingenious methods used to bring Nakatomi Plaza to life as an iconic setting and unforgettable character in Die Hard worked like a charm. The Nakatomi Tower and its fiery explosion loomed large on the movie's famous poster. In 2002, Piranha Games published a video game called Die Hard: Nakatomi Plaza, an underrated first-person PC shooter that also makes the titular skyscraper a major player. 20 years later, in 2022, the legendary Bruce Willis returned to tour Nakatomi Plaza 34 years after Die Hard was released in 1988, with his wife Emma posting video footage of Willis posing on the roof. Pretty damn cool. Far from a basic, one-dimensional action movie setting, Nakatomi Plaza is as much a part of Die Hard's lasting lore as anyone else, including Willis, Rickman, de Bont, McTiernan, and everyone else involved with making the movie. 37 years later, that's how Nakatomi Plaza made such a lasting impression in Die Hard.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.